around for the last 5 years or 6 years since we've opened. Craig was one of our very first chefs. He's a Red Seal chef. He's traveled all over Canada, and he really appreciates local fine ingredients. So it's APPLEFEST this week. Who knew that Sudbury could grow apples? Yeah, we grow like a lot of apples. And today we're going to feature some of the apples that have been growing. So I've been working with Ron Lewis previously, and now it's Phil Beauchamp of Beautiful Field Farms. They're our major partner here for APPLEFEST this week. I grew these trees from trees that I bought from Ron Lewis like at least 15 years ago. This is a Millstream apple. It's a full-size apple. It can grow even bigger ones. We call this a Norland. These are not flavors you find at the grocery store because they don't grow these. Otherwise, you get things like Max and Ida Red and Honey Crisp. Try to minimize the noise over there. So the northern varietals, they come from a Saskatchewan breeding program, and they're fit for zone 2 or 3 or 4, which is where we are. Like, we used to be zone 2, 3, now we're kind of 3, 4. It takes a long time for an apple tree to produce apples, but now I'm getting like bushels of apples, so like it's so fun. This one here is, I think this is a September ruby. I have to go back to my map because it's 15 years ago I planted it. So anyways.
Beautiful colors.
The other things that I planted, so the compost pile generated a tree that produces these crab apples, and they actually ripen more like end of like October-ish. They like to go through a frost, these ones, but they're really green, and Craig said that we need some sour things.
Yeah, tart is good.
Tart is good. So that's
especially since we're trying to feature crab apples. Let's try a little pucker test.
And you cut it right in half, and we'll look at the color of the seed.
Sure.
So this is how you can tell how an apple is ripe. So you see the seed in here in this apple. When you buy an apple at the grocery store, you see the seeds, they're brown. Well, guess what? This little seed is white. Guess what that means? If the seed is white, ooh, she's going to be full of pectin and sour. Very sour. So let's go. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh,
Ooh.
that's good though.
What do they call that? What's that? It's like that
Astringency.
that choke cherry. It has an air of choke cherry astringency.
Like sea buckthorn.
It dries your mouth right out. Whew. That's good.
I could see mashing a few of these and adding that to lemonade.
Yeah, that would be good.
It would be a nice way to.
Anyways,
Extend the
as you can
tartness.
see, I didn't pick very many because I knew that this was going to taste like this.
But that's a good thing. Like in a chutney, which we're making today, crab apple chutney, you want to have something a little bit bitter, something tart, something sweet. I've got a little bit of salt cured lemons, but some of these, like we're going to almost use this as a condiment. It's almost like bitter cherries.
Yeah, they're underripe apples.
Mm-hmm.
It is underripe crab apples.
But it's gonna help balance flavors and give depth.
So this tree, this is a seed that I planted. So in my fantasy land, I thought, okay, I'm going to take these apples. I bought these kind of trees. I took seeds from these kind of trees and I planted. I think I planted at least 25 trees on my land that are just from seeds. So this is the first tree that produced. This tree's about 6 years old, and it makes the most beautiful small apples. These are quite lovely tasting. These are not as bitter as that. You'll see that these are kind of ripe now. I might call this Beckham's tree because Beckham, when he was just born last year, I had him in a granny pack, and we went and picked from this tree. So here, you try this piece. This is another ingredient. This is a nameless varietal that there's only one tree of this one in the world.
That's really nice.
Like, it's a little bit tart,
Mm-hmm.
but it has a beautiful coloring. That
But
pink
my
and
face
yellow.
hasn't changed too much.
No, it's
It's nice on the palate.
Is this what you were thinking flavor-wise when you wanted to make a crab apple chutney? Were you looking for something like this or something between there and there?
Both of those are perfect. We'll probably use less of the super tarts, the underripe, but I like the idea of having that to balance, which is actually why I brought this. If we had more of this, we could probably skip. We're just flying by the seat of our pants here, using our taste buds to determine what we want to do. This adds a really nice tartness, so we'll definitely use most of that.
So that when you can see these apples are brown, like the seeds of this apple is brown.
Yep.
The apple is pink.
Did
and
you
white.
show the camera?
I'm going to bring it down to the camera. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's brown. It's like the
A
brown
little
of
bit
an
more
apple.
contrast
Yeah.
here.
I don't know.
You can definitely see the fruit being white and the seed being encased in its dark color.
And this
I
tree
never knew that. That's
started
cool.
as a tree that I grew from these guys, like from Phil and Ron. Except that I think the problem I was having with the fruit trees in my yard is a borer comes in and it digs a hole like in the stalk of the tree at the bottom. Anyways, the tree survived the borer attacks, but I think this might be growing from the rootstock instead of on top. So it is also ripe, this one. It produces a lot of yellow apples. They're a little bit bigger than a crab, typically. And anyways, it has a nice flavor too.
So even your wild grown apples, the ones out in your front yards, I mean, as long as you know you're not spraying them, sometimes they get a little bit of a blemish on them. Give them a rinse, give them a wipe. Like you were talking about the borers, sometimes they enter the apple at the bottom, the top, they come in from any sort of nooks and crannies. And just because your apples are blemished doesn't mean you can't make something totally delicious. Just
Well,
give
you
them
can
a
make
wash.
cider with it for sure.
Of course.
We're gonna make a lot of cider tomorrow, Saturday. Saturday is APPLEFEST. See, these are sweet.
Hmm.
They're small, but they're really sweet. They're compared to sweeter, juicier.
This is the one that we tried?
Alright,
That's
this-
the one we tried.
That's the first one I gave you. I gave you
Okay.
the second one. This is a different one.
I'm going to get a little taste of that one.
Try that one.
You got to taste everything as you go.
Yeah,
Definitely more sweet.
definitely more sweet and more juicier. I have a lot of these too. This apple tree is loaded. You want to try the real apples?
Real apples.
Okay, they're all real apples, but these are the kinds that are sold to like be eating apples.
It's good to be this partial to the quality of the food that you're getting. I mean, you grew the apple yourself. There's some pride in that.
I love this tree. So this is called a millstream, and it's a full standard. So this tree is like, I don't know, 25 feet tall. Like, it's just a huge tree. A few years ago, a bear came and knocked it at about this height. Knocked the tree, climbed it, I guess, and knocked the tree down. And the stalk on the tree was like, I don't know, like this when it happened. So now what's happened, thank you, Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear survived the tree attack also. Nobody got in the way of Mr. Bear. But the tree now has all of its branches really low. So I can reach a lot more of that tree. So I'm really
There you
grateful
go.
because I wouldn't, like, the tree is so big and it's planted at the back of the yard. But anyways, some for nature, some for me.
It's
Cheers
a
to the
really
bear.
really nice floral note to it. Almost like really mild mango almost. Like it's mellow, but it's really nice, crunchy, sweet.
It's pretty juicy too.
Mm-hmm.
So tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to have all these varietals. You'll be able to taste the one apple next to the other apple.
I think we got some live comments there.
I can't read them. So
I know.
Noreen, do you want to read the comments? Tell us what people are
Read the
saying.
comments, you bet.
Yeah, we can't see from here. My eyes are not that good. Okay, this one is not the best tasting one, I don't think, but it has a really beautiful color. So when you make apple cider and there's color in the peeling, that turns your apple cider a nice color.
Gives it like a pinkishness
Uh-huh.
if it's red. Oh,
You might want to put this in the chutney.
I'll chop them all up.
I have a lot of these. Not like tons. This is a smaller tree. What are they saying? Any questions that we need to answer?
They're asking about that assassination of the American.
Okay, well that's just spam robots.
That's spam. We don't
It
worry
is,
about
for
that.
sure.
We're not working about that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. No. Nothing.
Nothing relevant
I'll
to
pull it
us,
up here
okay.
and I'll watch.
Perfect. That sounds great. This is in New Orleans. So this tree is a good story behind this tree. I said to Mike, he was cutting birch trees near the garden. I said, whatever you do, I just planted this apple tree. If you fell a birch tree, miss the apple tree, okay? What does he do? He drops the birch tree right on the apple tree. Breaks it right at the bottom. I might have cried or I might have said some bad words. I probably did both. Anyways, he said it's no big deal.
This is getting towards like delicious a little bit.
It is delicious.
It is delicious.
I think it's called the Norland.
Okay.
Anyways, the tree ended up growing 2 stalks. So now this tree is like double massive. Nature wants to live. What can I say?
Graft it and have all your favorite varieties growing off
It's
the
so
same
big. This tree is so big.
off the same trunk.
And I used to be so excited to get like 5 apples off a tree. And one day Ron said, "You're gonna get bushels off these trees," and I didn't believe it would ever happen. But there's like bushels off of this tree.
So
bushels and
15
bushels.
years.
About that.
Plan ahead, people. Get your trees now.
Yeah. I planted some peach trees because the weather keeps getting warm. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll do a peach show in 10 years. Who knows? Never know.
Like a peach pie.
Okay. Do you want me to get out of your way now? I've explained all the apples. Any other questions?
No, I think we're good. We just covered everything. All the different. So it's a crabapple chutney. We've got some different varieties of apples to add to it. Similar flavors. Try to find a balance. Taste as you go. Work with what you've got. So today we're going to be using some of the honey that's infused with these habaneros from Pepperaro. Am I pronouncing that right, guys?
I was wrong.
And I think I mentioned the honey cured garlic. Was it roasted first and
No.
then put it?
We're just there. This is from Darcy's garden.
This is fascinating
Darcy?
stuff, guys. You ever want to get over a cold quick? Have yourself a cup of tea and put a little bit of this honey in it.
We've been making, you know what this is really good for? Like Chinese food dishes. Like, honey garlic sauce
Oh, for sure.
and like pork ribs or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, we'll get started. This is going to take a little bit of time to get the flavor base going.
I'm
So
out.
we're-
I'm going to go back over there, and you're going to be on your own.
Thank you for the introduction.
All right. Listen, you're going to do an awesome job, and I'm very excited that I get smell-o-vision. I get smell-o-vision and television here.
So we were talking a few minutes ago on my live, but we've got, I'm going to use Labrador tea. I like putting apple with rosemary, and I find that there are some of those rosemary notes in the Labrador tea as well as some additional aromatics. We've got some cumin seed, some powdered clove, and some coriander seed, and some brown mustard seed. The seeds and the spices are going to be going in. Actually, I'll put the lab tea in later. Everything else I'm going to put it in to some olive oil. So I'm going to start this off as soon as I can figure out. There we go. Max power. So we'll preheat the pan. Get myself a bowl for my spices. So I'm going to do about a teaspoon of cumin seed. And we're going to heat the pan so that we can warm up some oil to then toast the spices in. A teaspoon of coriander seed. It's over here. Brown mustard seed, I'm going to put a tablespoon of that. So toasting these spices, you can dry toast them, you can fry them in oil. It's really up to you. Just be sure that you don't make them burn. Don't get them to where they're completely blacked out. These lids are so hard to... Here we go. So a little wee bit of this clove powder. And you can use whatever spices you think you're going to like. Think of what you want to use your chutney for. Are you going to use it a side of curry? Are you going to use it aside maybe some roast pork? We actually have some pork tenderloin here from Birch Lake Abattoir. No, this is Rochelle's, processed at Birch Lake Abattoir. So the pork tenderloin, that's one of the places that we might use this.
No, that's a Rocha Farm pork. I want to talk about that.
We'll definitely get to that
So
very
when you
soon.
get to that, we'll do that. Do
So
the
we've
chutney.
got some extra virgin olive oil here.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Okay,
The
so
Portuguese
the
one.
pan is preheated. So I'm going to get the oil in there, probably about a third of a cup. That was a quarter. And we're going to get the whole spices and a little bit of clove powder into that. You should be able to hear it sizzling right away. If you don't, you didn't preheat it enough. I'm going to turn the heat down and get a little bit of this Labrador tea out. This is Labrador tea that I brought to Rochelle after my trip up to my reserve up in Wamingji, which is in northern Quebec on the James Bay coast. So we've got a little bit of that, a little bit of memorabilia from the last time I was up there. You want to just try to smell the herbs as you're going. That won't necessarily fill the room, but you'll notice it. You don't want to go to where this turns, where it's all blacked out. So you can like,
Smell-o-vision.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's nice. You can really smell its herbs in there.
Mm-hmm.
What was interesting about this Wimidgee's Labrador tea, because I've had Labrador tea a lot from this area, this Wimidgee stuff is like way more potent.
Very fragrant.
Yeah, it's very fragrant. I've been using a lot of sweet fern lately. As somebody told me. I think
that would be
Darcy-
great in this.
I have some. You want some?
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off. I can smell that it's nice and I can't really get that on camera, but it's toasty. What we're doing is we're trying to get those essential oils out of the herbs and into the oil so that it can permeate into the, oh, beautiful, sweet fern. It grows next to your blueberries almost everywhere you pick in this part of the province. You can sort of see what I just did there. It's sort of like pulling thyme leaves off of the stem. There's a little bit, you know, like celery has the string in it. It's not horrible, but just if you push, and you can just get that little wee tendril or the stem out. Not gonna have a bad flavor or anything, but you don't really feel like having that stuck in between your teeth. So easy peasy. And you can use them chopped up fresh. You don't need to have dried sweet fern. And it's gonna give a fruity pink peppercorn bay leaf flavor. Let's see. So I just sort of crumble that into the oil. I can hear it sizzling just a bit with the remaining heat. Then what I'm going to do is, again, we're just doing this live as we go. I'm going to cut up some shallot, get that into the warmed up oil, turn the temp back on, and then start chopping some apples and crab apples. If you did want to make this more of a sweet type thing, where you're going to be doing, maybe putting it alongside ice cream or something along that note, you're going to want to reduce the amount of savory things. So maybe none of the shallot, maybe only a small amount of, you could do caramelized onion, which would be nice. Still aromatic, but it has a more sweet note to it. I'm cubing some of these shallots. I like my chutneys to be relatively chunky, but the application I have with the pork tenderloin is going to be to put it into a piping bag and to try to stuff it into the pork tenderloin. So I'm going to want it to be a fairly small chunk. So that's what we've got right. So we'll get that in here. Just a light sizzle, put it back on. Get that sizzling, chop up a bit more of these apples, get those started, and then get into the fussy aspect of chopping up the crab apples. And again, with the whole spices, it's going to depend on how much time you have and your, you know, what level do you want to fuss over your ingredients. I don't particularly like having apple cores or stems in any food that I intend to eat. If I'm just going to use it to flavor a broth, all of that stuff can be strained out. There's no point in peeling or coring your apples. But in this situation, we're making a chutney. We're using whole spices. So if you decide that you're in a rush, feel free to not really worry about. Just chop up the crab apples as is and leave them whole. You're never going to eat enough apple to get poison from what's inside the seeds. At least I really don't think you will. So keep an eye on your temperature. Try to get these apples in there quick to modulate the temperature. Again, relatively small dice. Okay. Started. Now that's going to be the base. We're going to be chopping more crab apple into that as we go. Ooh. Very, very garlicky. It's going to be a delicious savory aspect. I'm going to put probably about 10 maybe a little bit more. I would say that's a whole head worth of garlic from the honey cure. Which honey did you use to do this base? Yeah. So not Doug Thompson's.
No.
You used your own honey.
This was from my farm. Yeah, this one. That was ours, and it was Darcy's garlic
Wow.
from Espanola. She had a really good ton of garlic that year.
So there's a
It smells so good.
starting point.
I'm gonna have Adam watch the show because he tried to make an apple chutney. He shot some wild geese,
Oh, that'd be nice.
and we had.
This is heat proof.
It's still cold. And anything probably can melt, but I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think that will melt.
Okay, so we're not actually going to use this. We're going to use the hot honey. Maybe I'll put one in. I'm going to put one
It's
of these.
very
in.
hot. It's a habanero. It's
Yeah.
very hot. I mean, I like hot, so it's not going to bother me. Lori will have to be careful.
It is a condiment, so
Yeah. I support the decision. I love habanero. It's my favorite one.
this stuff is scorpion pepper, hot honey. And do you think one habanero would just be? I'll dial it back. Just imagine that you didn't have hot honey and you used some regular honey. Put in some habanero, some jalapeno. Chili flakes are fine too. If that's what I used at home the last time I made this, I used some chili flake. Just to get a little bit of heat. And remember, most of the time when it's a condiment that you're making, your little taste test as you go, that should end up being a little hotter than you want. Remember, you're going to be eating it with something else. Condiments are typically going to be a little bit more sweet or a little bit more salty or a little more spicy than if you were to make a bowl of just that to eat. Okay, so we're into this, again, the unknown varietal of crabapple. Taste them. If you like it. There was one that I had in mind when I thought about doing this. There was a, what street now? Auger Street. There's a church somewhere on Auger, I think near Hawthorne. And in the front yard, there's like a golden delicious apple tree. And always get permission before you pick someone's apples. But was driving by and I just happened to notice there was crabapple trees just leaning over, full of fruit. And they were these dark red. And almost like a beet, the coloration, just beautiful. And I was imagining how that might look as like a, I think it was my wife actually that had the idea, do it like it's a cranberry preserve, which is one way to do it. But with the crab apples, you can never really know exactly what the flavor is going to be that you're working with. We're going to get into these bitter ones now. You can never know what the flavor is going to be until you taste them and start working with them. I figured having a savory aspect added to it, some spices, would make it from being basic and straightforward to being a little bit more depth of flavor. So add 3 or 4 different kinds. Taste as you go and add whatever you think is neat. I think I've even done pickled beets added to high bush cranberries and used a little bit of honey and ginger and then just use that as the cranberry dressing. A lot of different things you can do. Just use your taste buds and whatever you like, do that. Keep it as local as possible. Crab apples are something you don't typically buy or see at the store, and it's kind of a nice thing to try something different. Rose hip's another thing you could add. Those are kind of available right now, growing all over the place. Going to add a little bit of liquid wildflower honey, I think we've got here. Doug Thompson. Two more of these bitter crab apples.
Oh, thank you.
And just to prove, I won't even cut the edges off. I'll just cut this one up whole and put it in as is. Chopped up, but the whole fruit is there. We're going to turn up the temperature now. Try to get a bit of a caramelization. And we'll try to get some of these additional crab apples. It takes a little while, but once you get your toasted herbs, whether you go dry or in the oil, and then cut up everything else that you intend to put in there, you get some garlic, your aromatics, whatever ones you choose. And if you want to bulk it up, you can add other things, like you could chop up a little bit of carrot if you wanted to, some zucchini if you've got one lurking that just doesn't seem to be getting used and it's getting close. You can add those in. Probably there are better spots you could do it, but if you wanted to have more consistency to it, some extra fiber, if you see anything like that, just set it aside. That's those little grubs, I think, that seem to get into the apple. That's another thing that seems to go without saying, but maybe people are overlooking these days. If the if the bugs or the animals are interested in the food that you're growing, it probably means that you've grown something real good. I said it before, if you put a pound of margarine out in the wild and come back the next day and take a look at it, it's probably not going to have been touched. If you put a pound of butter in the wild, it'll be gone. So it's a pain to have to deal with watching for grubs and things like that, but just get there when the picking's ready. Get things when they're at their peak, and we can get there. It's like picking mushrooms, I guess. How many times do you pick mushrooms and the grubs, the worms have already been through it? But if you know what your patch is doing and you pay attention, and might have to make a couple extra trips, but you should be able to get them while they're fresh and not packed full of worms. It's starting to caramelize nice. Get a couple more of these. I'm going to walk over and just check on comments just a second. I'll have to check the comments later, but what do you like to do with your apples that's different? I mean, hey, making a pie with your apples, that seems pretty straightforward. Do you make applesauce? Do you make apple cider? Could be using a candy thermometer for this, but you should be able to smell when it starts to hit the caramel temperature. It's okay for the honey to start going dark. You do not want it to go past, say, dark brown. So if you're going to use honey in your chutney, I do recommend some of the neutral wildflower mixed flower honeys. So dramatic.
It is. We've got some dramatic nature on it.
Oh, cool. fresh produce arriving at Seasons Pharmacy and Culinaria on Lorne. Swing by. This stuff's coming from Massey?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Call them the North Shore Farms out near anywhere Massey. That's the
Okay.
one, right?
Makes sense. North Shore Farms.
Smells good.
Yeah.
Smells good, Craig.
So again, what do you do with apples? Applesauce is a pretty easy one. And sometimes you can be, if you want to do extra work, you can use apples that aren't terribly suited to applesauce. Something like a mac, I think, would probably make a good sauce. Or anything that, if it doesn't make a good pie, it typically makes a good applesauce. And somewhere in between is what you're looking for this here. We've got a really neat ingredient. Where do we get the scapes from?
Oh,
That's probably
a lot
personal.
of people. We had a lot of garlic come in from a lot of different people.
So
They're
this
all,
came
like,
in a little
separate
bit late,
areas.
but we've got scapes that floured, and it's really neat. Before they actually turn into a flower, there's almost like a little tiny. It's like it's like
It's a
drops
garlic
of-
scape flour. I don't
drops of water that have turned white with garlic flavor. So like all of these,
know. They're gonna get a skin pretty soon, so you can plant them. But right now they're perfect. You can just throw them in as garlic. You barely have to chop them. Look at, I'm just excited because look at these all came in, because now it's fall.
ooh,
And look at these
Those
are
are
all come
beautiful.
from the Bauman family farm, which is massive.
that's incredible.
It's not part of today's show, but anyways, it just came in. That's what the ding
Well,
dong
it's
sound was.
fall harvest. We're starting to
Fall
get there.
harvest. Yeah.
These are. Did you taste one yet?
Oh yeah, they taste exactly like garlic. What happens is these are from the summer. So people harvest their garlic scapes in the summer, and if you don't have a chance to use them, they keep growing because nature wants to live. This is going to be a seed, right? You can plant baby garlics from these. And what's going to happen is they're going to grow like a skin, like a thick skin on the outside.
But right now,
Made this yesterday.
there's no noticeable
beans
skin,
came and no
and
beans.
turn this back.
Did you adjust it? Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. And I got some cheddar.
So we're going to get
Cheddar cup?
that flour. I'm going to just sort of pop the little, almost like little drops or berries of garlic right in. It'll be an interesting little textural thing. So if you've got garlic growing in your property right now and you haven't taken all the scapes off, you may well have these things, and just take a look at them. They do look like they're going to turn into a flower, but here's like a before and after shot. And then you're just pulling off all of the little pods. It's like little seed pods, but oh yeah, it's gonna be nice. So we're just increasing the amount of savory aspect to this. There we go.
I'm interrupting your show because I've been dealing with Martin's Country Market for like the last 6 years, and one day I asked him, "Do you have cheese?" He goes, "Yeah." So I've had the opportunity to have this like Mennonite Jersey cow cheddar cheese for the last 6 years, and I only started buying it last week or 2 weeks ago. It's so good. You should have some.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should for sure.
I'm gonna let you taste that because Jersey milk, Jersey cows, not very many birds like that. Okay, so
And, and it's local, North Shore Farms, right?
Yeah, that's Massey. But this comes from Southern Ontario.
Okay.
The Mennonite community in Southern Ontario does this. Here, you have to taste this. I've never had a creamy cheese like this. This is a cheddar. It goes good with apples. Isn't that creamy? I'm going to go on TV.
Yeah.
I sold them
And I
all
had
right
like the
away.
lingering flavor of the garlic with this, and
We can have
like,
it.
oh, geez, let's hurry up and get this chutney done. That is nice. Mmm. So I had more applesauce type apples the last time I did this. Some of the apples just like obliterate into the chutney. These are holding shape really well. But what's going to happen is, as this cools down, it's going to, well, that was a good idea. This is a clean spoon.
Another piece of cheese.
It never fails every time I come here. The food's always so good. I come here and I'm still fasting. Break fast every time.
Right here. Put some apple chutney on that cheese. It's so good. You could have it with pork tenderloin, or you could have it with cheese.
Get rid of this. Let's put it here for now.
Forget-
So, I haven't put any salt. And I was talking about this earlier, putting a little bit of salt cured lemon. And I think that the citrus aspect that's in this is going to be very nice. This is a clean spoon.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think
I need something longer.
This was just a taster spoon for you, Craig.
Yep, I gotta get some way to get the lemons up.
I got you.
Perfect. Thank you.
See, I get to taste all along, so now I'm going to taste it before and after the lemon.
Perfect.
Craig taught me this trick when I first met him, and it's like, I love this product. Salt-cured lemons or salt-cured limes.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a life changer for me. I love that.
And they're available for you. Like once you have some working for you, that should be enough. Once you have them in your pantry,
I'll always have it.
they're indefinitely good, and you just add them wherever you think you want. You want to make a good Caesar dressing using salt cured lemon. Great way to get that flavor in there. So like I was saying, I don't have any salt added to this chutney. You don't typically need to add very much at all, but I happen to have this product and I think it's going to end up with a nice flavor balance. So I do typically go through the sections of salt cured lemon. I'll show you here.
Oh, it's up there.
I'll sort of look through them briefly, and if there's any seeds, I'll try to take those out, because the seeds rarely ever add any good flavors. They tend to add some unnecessary bitterness, and it's pretty easy to omit them. So, I mean, leave them in if you want. So I'm just cutting this up so I get a better distribution, because we're almost done. But I want whatever salt to come off of that and distribute itself throughout. Okay, I'm starting to get to where I'm caramelizing. So at this stage, I think I should be able to tilt that for the camera now. It's nice and dark. I'm gonna let it go for about a minute more, turn it off and put a lid on it.
So my niece just.
All right, that's off. Heat is off on the chutney, and I'm running a little bit of water to be able to stop the cooking process. A little more of the sweet fern. Put that in. Oh yeah, that looks how I want it to look. It's interesting, it's actually changed quite a bit in the last minute. Shut that water off. Should be able to show that to the camera now as I dump it all over my beautiful harvest display. Nice dark coloration. All of the apples are softened. There we go. Little wee taste test before we chill it down. If there's any flavors that I'm not crazy about, or if I think it's missing something, if I want to add more apple, this would be obviously the time to do so. Definitely caramelized. Spices are nice. The lemon almost brings out the extra tart, unripe crabapple that went in there. So I'm going to set this down into the sink, which is half full of really cold water.
Yes. Oh, hey, they're here. All right. Okay, see you then.
Tidy things up a little wee bit here. Do you have a compost?
Oh, yeah, sorry, we call it the chicken bucket.
Chicken bucket.
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh, and of course, there's not one here. Just put it right in here, and I can give us a
Sure.
chicken bucket.
Right there is good.
Yep.
Thank you.
Perfect. Oh, that looks lovely.
Hello. Sorry about that. What are we doing for time? Very good.
Yeah.
Sour. You have a canning funnel? Yes, you do, right here.
Doesn't matter. We do it.
Ask and I shall receive. Now, if you were making this to preserve it, to put it away,
No, it's a new amount. That's
we're going to be using this almost immediately. But this is the basic technique. Make sure your jars are sterilized and move your ingredients in to while they're still temped, while they're still hot. You should be able to, while these are still sizzling hot, pop them straight into the jar. But we're going to be using this over the next couple of days.
Okay. Then I would slice it into, then I would refreeze it. Oh, okay, use it as, okay. Yes. Okay.
Beautiful crabapple chutney,
Yeah.
local apples, local hot honey.
Tell her to follow like your.
Just use the jar.
Oh, okay, okay.
There we go.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Now remember what I was saying earlier. The condiment is typically going to be a bit saltier and a bit sweeter than you would make it if you were going to eat it straight up. This in and of itself is not something you would have a bowl of. You know, I don't think that many people are sitting down to have a bowl of ketchup or relish. It's designed to go with something that benefits from the flavor accompaniment. So that's what the chutney looks like. And Come give it a taste sample. I'll get a couple more tiny spoons.
No, because it's the final version now, right? With the lemon.
I think so.
Salt cured lemon.
I think it brightened up, but if anything, it only brought out the tartness of the underripe crab apples.
You brought that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
Okay, I'm
flavors.
gonna put some on the cheese and I'm gonna put some just by itself. I'm gonna do both ways because I just love cheese.
I'll do
Jersey
I'll
is
do
my
the
new
same
favorite.
with you. So you can imagine,
Wow,
you get that into the pork tenderloin,
that's pretty good.
stuff that through the center, sear it off as a whole, or in two pieces, however you prefer. And once it's cooked, get a good seared crust on the outside of it. Bake it in the oven until it gets to the doneness you like. I prefer my pork to be about medium when we're doing tenderloin. You could go a little bit further if you wanted to, but that's going to really permeate the meat.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. See, like right now, you're not tasting citrus; you're tasting the apple.
No, you're just tasting
But
apple.
it gives it like the citrus
Bright.
almost
Bright
brings out the brightness. We could have definitely used more of those tart crab apples. I think those might have been the star.
Yeah.
But
And
everything
it's not
else
very
contributed.
hot. Like
No,
you said, we were gonna put hot stuff in it,
I,
but it's not hot.
I used a tablespoon of the hot honey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So hindsight, we definitely could
Could have
have.
done
But I'm trying to think of Lori.
Yes, but Lori's not here.
We don't, yeah, well, then we could add one of these right now if we wanted to. We could saute that separately and stir it in.
Stir it in.
Because we do have a full container right here that is Lori approved.
Okay.
If you want to do that.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that and make a hot one.
Again, seat of our pants. Oh, I got to try that with
Try
the
it
cheese.
It's actually better. Like the cheese is really nice. It makes it very creamy. But if you had the hot thing, it would be really good.
Oh.
It's good, right?
I almost imagine like those two pieces sitting on a piece of cured Westphalian ham or
Yes, that would be delicious. Okay, thanks, Craig. Are you gonna show how to stuff the thing, or you gotta go? It's 11:30. You gotta go.
well, we can quickly. Do you have a steel?
I do.
I think anyone can wrap their mind around if you've got a piping bag. Put the regular tip, just the round tip, not the fluted, and pack your bag with your chutney. And you can do this with anything else. You can use goat cheese if you wanted to,
Da-da-da.
and you get the whatever stuffing that you want, and get that into the piping bag with a plain tip. And this, make sure you clean it well. You don't want any fragments of
metal.
steel or anything like that. Clean it real nice, and then take your tenderloin and basically do it like you're sliding bannock onto a stick. And then once it's on, just sort of move it around and try to increase the opening. Don't go all the way through. And then slide it off the steel and pipe in, and you'll just see it enlarge the pork tenderloin all the way to the far end. Stop before you burst it. Put it in the fridge until dinner's ready, like until you're
Yeah.
ready to cook it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't take any more than 20 minutes. 5 minutes of pan searing until you get it seared all the way around, and then off to the oven for about 10 minutes.
Well, I'm super excited to have that because we thawed this out, this thing, so that's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be our job. So no, the reason I wanted to clarify that it wasn't Birch Lake Abattoir pork. This is Rocher Farm pork. This is from my farm.
It is.
These pigs live outside. It's the only pork we sell in the freezer is ours right now. And anyways, pig had a very beautiful quality of life, and they're heritage breeds, so they have a higher fat content than other breeds. Which we've all been told that fat's so bad for us, but I don't think so. I doth protest the latest dietitian argument about that. And so there it is. I didn't really wash my hands since I started, so I don't want to put the package back.
Well, I'll go ahead. Like we talked about it,
Yeah.
but since we're
you're
here,
here.
my hands are still clean.
Mine are.
So there's the tenderloin. So you can take the time to go ahead and remove the silver skin if you want to. You don't really need to remove it. You can leave it on. There's a little bit of fat in it, but what you can do is just score it a bit, just to reduce the tension, right? Because if you've got silver skin on the meat that you're cooking, it tends to make it buckle. And in this, we're trying to have it stay relatively long so that it can give a nice sear. You can imagine how if it turns into a coil like what kind of not pepperoni, but the coil of meat, Polish sausage. Yeah, if it turns into like a kielbasa, you're not going to have an easy time getting a sear on the inside of that curve.
Yeah.
So
you started the flatter end, right?
We'll give this a wash.
Here, I'll take it over to the other side.
Very good.
Scrubby thing.
Good, good, good.
Straight up.
See the things you learn, because I would have never thought to use a steel for this, but okay. She's clean now.
Very good.
Clean there, boss.
Perfect.
There you go.
All right, so pretty straightforward. I mean, if you do have a little bit of tender or of silver skin on the end, you can make just a small incision just to get yourself started. And then just imagine you're going to cook it over the fire.
Yes, yeah, okay.
If it starts to get bunched up, just pull a little bit on the end and just keep sort of threading it on. And you can feel with your hand whether the steel is still centered. Obviously, if you poke it out the side, everything's just going to explode out when you go to put it into the piping bag and
We don't
stuff
have a
it.
piping bag, so we have to use this. So
See,
let's
we,
see.
seat of our pants. This is the best way. So once
We're gonna do
it's
like this.
impaled like this, you can just sort of move it around, and this should ease some of the fibers apart. I've stopped about here, incidentally, so that like we're not going to really get much stuffing into the last inch or so. And then once that's done, slide that out, and then there's the opening. You don't really want to handle it too much from this moment until you've got the piping.
We'll see how this is going to work, Craig.
It works in theory. If you have a piping bag, it
It's
gives
gonna
you a
work better.
longer. It gives you a longer taper, so you'll have better control. But I've got strong hands and strong will. We should be okay.
He definitely has strong will. Me too. Me too. Me too. No, the only problem that we're missing is let's see. I don't know, Craig.
Oh,
Let's see if it's gonna work. You know what? It is gonna work. Where's the?
she's surprised when the thing I said would work works.
Well, okay. Like I believe you would work with a piping bag because you got that metal thing, but you know.
Squirrel, huge squirrel.
You don't want squirrels a little bit. Bye, squirrel. Yeah, it actually went in. Like I didn't think with the piping bag, well,
Works.
without the piping bag, that
Works
it would
good.
work. But I thought maybe we could use, if it looks like it's not cooperating, we could just stuff it in with this.
And so when you see, I don't think that'll work because it doesn't.
Think that'll work?
I mean, I could learn something. It tends to have a pointy end, so it's going to miss the ingredients and then jam them out the side. But you can see the tenderloin getting larger, and then once you get it stuffed to a certain point, you could actually squeeze it, like
Like a
squeeze the
snake.
meat. Yeah, and then sort of squeeze it down and let it. There
I'm
we
so
go.
excited this is working.
Awesome! You're getting a cooking lesson and a video.
Listen, it's called collaboration.
Yeah.
I have other kinds of specialized knowledge.
Oh, for sure.
Oh no, look at now I did it.
That's
ripped the
okay.
bag. My piping bag sort of like failed. Had a pipe bag failure. Okay, I'm gonna cut another bowl on the other end. Da, 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 da.
Oh,
Wow, this is so fun, Craig.
I'm gonna have to just forget about this.
Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, so
Awesome.
I've never had anything like this. Anybody who wants to try Smell-O-Vision later, we're probably going to serve this around 1.
That's going to be delicious.
People want
The
to
best
stop
pork
by.
with a wonderful seasonal
Yeah.
chutney stuffing. Awesome. All the best ingredients you can hope for are all right here.
Yeah. People don't think
Check it out, guys.
people
Horribly
don't think,
disorganized is my style.
Oh, this is great. My hands are clean, trust me. I'm going to cut this again. My hands are
And thank you so much, Noreen, for helping out with getting everything I needed as I was going.
There we go. Okay, so we're going to finish this. It's down to here. Okay, you're out.
Awesome. Yeah. And then so you just squeeze it, let it taper down. And then it's good to, you can imagine there's pectin content,
Yeah.
right? And so if we roll that back up in the wrapper that's sitting on the table, set it down even into the freezer. Fridge is best. We don't want to crystallize anything because then everything is going to break, and then it'll tend to release juices, and that's all your flavor leaving. Get it into the fridge, get it cold again, and you know if you're going to have dinner at 6, if you take it out of the fridge around 4, Make sure you preheat the oven, preheat your pan.
A
A little bit of
How long is it okay?
shouldn't take any more than 15 minutes in the oven. Oven at 350, 375.
Do I have to sear it first on a screaming
Yeah.
hot something?
Yeah,
Screaming
screaming hot cast iron pan is ideal.
Okay.
And
have that.
if you've only got these little pans, you're going to want to use 2 pieces. So just cut it across the length so that you have 2 manageable pieces.
That
Yeah,
might
that's
be worth
perfectly fine.
doing because
This could be barbecued as well.
I have only a small pan, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna cut this and see how far our chutney went through.
So that piece definitely got the better amount of it. But what I was mentioning is with the piping bag, that long taper gives a lot more push, and you would see the tenderloin almost inflates.
That's okay, I'm just going from both ends
Yeah,
now.
well, it looks perfect. And of course, if you wanted to do it a different way, this is the way that cooks do it online when you're in a rush and you've got 30 or 40 of these to do and you've only got 10 minutes. This is the fast way of doing it, even though we took a while to
Oh,
describe
look
it.
at now, it's going so nice. I
But what
feel
you
it.
can do is you can butterfly open the pork tender,
Tie it back.
lay down a bead of that, or just even put spoonful by spoonful, and then roll it up and tie it. And every 2-3 inches, put a nice bit of butcher's twine. And just obviously make sure when you're doing that, that you're not tying it too tight and squeezing everything out.
This is gonna be so
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, it just, see, I felt it did better on this side.
We can get the 2 pieces in here, and I'll put it back to the fridge.
I want to use all the chutney. I'm gonna make it all fit.
And if you're doing something along this line, when you're done pan searing, what you can do is, like you feel like, oh, I've got all this waste. Well, what you can do is just squeeze that into the pan, deglaze with a little bit of cognac or brandy, whatever you like. If you have a little bit of stock that's already been reduced some, you don't want to turn it into a soup. But if you got, let's say, a quarter cup, a half cup of reduced stock, you can put that into the pan as well, so that you got some nice roasting liquids, and don't waste it.
Would you put it would you save it to add it at the end or roast it with it?
Depends on the level of caramelization you did in the chutney step. So this here is pretty finished. So once you've fully pan fried and got a nice crust on the full exterior, and you're going to put it into the oven for 10-15 minutes, I don't think that the chutney needs to be in there, but what you can do is in the last 5 minutes introduce it, and that'll assist with deglazing,
Yeah.
and then you can just pour that over.
Okay, this is very exciting. This is very exciting. Okay, I got it all in. I got it all in.
Perfect. Just squeeze the excess into the. Because
Waste any of that.
even when you go to cook, once you're done pan frying that, you can just put it right back into this container, and
Yeah.
all the flavors will be leaking out into the pan, which you can then, while it's still warm but not quite down all the way to room temp, you could put a little bit of butter into the drippings and pour that over the finished plate. Everything will come together. So there you have it. Pork tenderloin stuffed, like wonderful pork tenderloin from
See?
Rocha Farms.
Your knowledge and my ingredients, it's like a match made in heaven.
It certainly
I was gonna
is.
say, love that. I'm very dirty now.
So what
But
other
I'm very
ingredients do you
happy.
have here right now that you would feature along with that? You've got wonderful local potatoes.
Yeah, potato. Right now, what I would do with that is like, oh, I have to sell a lot of either beef tallow or pork lard, and you could make like some patate frites.
Oh,
The patate frites, little skinny fries in pork lard.
that's awesome.
I think that's what I do.
Blanch them at 300 and then fry them at 360. And you do with beef tallow and you're just potatoes from close to home, you're going to have the best fries ever. And they're not going to be like the gross stuff that you get at takeout places that we
So
won't
I'm
mention.
going to Peru in a couple of weeks.
Oh, wow.
And apparently that's the land of
That's
potatoes.
the home of potatoes.
Home of potatoes. So I'm like really excited to come back
Awesome.
to potato stories. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Greg.
Thank you so
I'm
much
not
for
shaking
showing.
your hand because like you're going to be doing.
Oh, I'll give you a hug.
All right, yay! Okay, thanks, Greg. Thanks everybody for
Take care,
watching.
everyone.
Happy chutney making.
Make something with fresh apples from down your street if you get an opportunity. Ask for permission before paying. I'll get this in the back fridge.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you.
Or did you want to roast it up?
You
now?
said should it get?
I think a little bit of time.
Let's go put it in the fridge then.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. How do we say goodbye to the world? Here we go. Goodbye, world.